TIFU by losing all my friends in a single day. So let me explain. So, I've had this online friend group for a little over 6 years now at this point, and I'd think it's safe to call them my closest friends. One day, we met this girl, let's call her Jessica. Jessica was a little shy at first but slowly came out of her shell, and eventually worked up the courage to ask me out. This was around February of 2021. I wasn't surprised that she did because she had been flirting with me for over 2 months beforehand. Anyways, I say yes, and we end up dating for about a week before I broke things off with her because I didn't feel ready for a relationship at the time, as I was severely depressed. I end up meeting this girl, let's call her Naina, around a month later and we start dating. Naina breaks things off with me about a month later, and that was a nasty breakup, but that's a whole different story. Fast forward to about August of 2021, Jessica and I start getting close again, but at the same time, I was talking to another girl, who ironically had the same exact name as her. So, Jessica #1 tells my best friend at the time that she still had a crush on me, and I told my best friend that I'm not sure who I liked and who I didn't. And then I started dating Jessica #2, but it didn't feel right like at all. I told myself to give it a month or two and see how things end up. At the end of those 2 months, things still didn't feel right to me. I didn't have an attraction toward Jessica #2. So, I broke things off with her around November of 2021. This is when things became painfully obvious to me that the whole time, I was in love with Jessica #1, and no one else. Now that my feelings were clear, and I had everything figured out, I was ready to tell Jessica #1 that I was in love with her. And then, she gets a girlfriend. That's not me. I decided to keep my feelings out of the way because if she was happy, I was happy. Sort of. One night, around the end of December 2021, I and the entire friend group was video calling. I remember being atrociously jealous because Jessica's girlfriend was also on the call. After said video call, Jessica messages to me on Discord and asks what was up with me. I told her that I didn't know what she was talking about, but she pushed further and said, "I know you better than you think, something up with you." We went back and forth for about an hour, saying how telling her would only make things worse, etc., etc. I eventually cracked and told her everything. Then she confesses that she was never really in love with her girlfriend and how she was using her to get over me. Then she started getting concerned, i.e., suicidal. Because she loved me but couldn't hurt her girlfriend. Long story short, she ended up in the hospital, and afterward, she broke up with her girlfriend. Then started our situations. A situationship is a relationship but not officially. During the month of January 2022, we did everything a long-distance relationship would, falling asleep on the phone together, playing games together, talking every second of the day, etc., etc. Then I fucked up. It was February 2022, and Jessica and my best friend were in a call together. They were all poking fun at me as they usually do, but today it was getting a little annoying. So, I said something about it. I told Jessica that her making fun of my ADHD wasn't cool and it was poking at my insecurities. She ends up becoming incredibly apologetic and I said, "It was okay, just please don't do it anymore." I thought everything was fine until my best friend messages me and said, "Do you know what you did?" I said, "What I did? Are you serious?" And she goes on to say, "Shannon, her grandfather is dying, she needs support now more than ever and you're here starting an argument with her?" We argue a little bit more and then I eventually go to bed and forget about it. I woke up to a long message from someone in the group basically saying that I need to grow up and mature, and then they kicked me out of the group.